That's a pretty sweet, tag. I shouldn't spoil you the names. I usually do when I cast for leg because they don't care, but IvD is different, man. So, Dalk, introduce the first player, man.
Alright, so... Sorry about that. On the top right, main base of Antigua Shipyard, we have the Blue Terran. We've seen him a lot in IvD gaming tournaments. From Bonsai Gaming, he is Monkey.
Yeah, they have easily the best clan tag. Bang. Like, how do you beat that? How do you beat that? I don't know. But his opponent, the Red Zerg in the western, so those like west southern side of Antigua Shipyard, we got CharismA, or southwest. There we go. It's always, you know, confusing. So what do you think is going to happen here? I know we've seen a lot of Monkey. Have you seen a lot of Charisma? Do you know who this is?
Nope, this is my first time seeing this player, and that's the beauty of online tournaments. You see people you've never seen before.
This is true, and something exciting already happening in Temple here by Charisma, so he's looking to get a little aggressive. I think this is a solid map for a Temple. You do know where your opponent spawns. It's not too big. I don't know, I mean, it's not really a big CC first map, though, which is usually what I see Temple really good against. It's always a risk to go Temple, and it actually looks like it's going to pay off here. Already 300 minerals saved up for Monkey, so he's going to go something here. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it looks like CC first, but he looks like he delayed SCV production for a little bit. It's very weird.
Yeah, usually when a player does go up to 400 minerals, it is CC first, and that is what Monkey's going to be doing. Especially if they don't have a barracks.
Yeah, for sure, man. I would assume so. I was just a little confused there. Seemed like he was stopping SCV production, so I was like, is he going to throw down 3 barracks at once? That would be weird. So, like we're talking about CC first, 8 lings already in production here for Charisma, so he's going to have a good chance of doing a lot of damage here. A barracks does go down, he's going to need his second barracks right away. I expect he's going to lose at least 1 SCV and then have to cancel the command center. At least that's the damage that's going to get done. You know, potentially more. If these lings get into the base, I think it's just GG.
Yeah, and it might go pretty quickly just because of the fact that Monkey went third, or fast CC, and the SCV did just see it passing through the middle of the map there, and these 6 circling, it's going to force a cancel on the command center.
Yeah, it's really important. Now he knows he just needs to finish his wall off, get repaired. He's going to restart the command center in his base. I don't think he's actually going to lose any workers here. Maybe the one building a depot there. Yeah, this could be pretty rough. This depot can't be repaired as it is still in production, and now the Zerglings have killed the SCV that was building it. Oh, this is so close. Looks like this depot should go down. Well, okay, this is a great choice. Starting the depot behind, a second depot behind the first one, even if it does go down, he should still have a secondary wall, and it looks like it's actually going to finish, so we'll be able to repair it. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And now Monkey is in a pretty good position, but actually the second supply depot is on fire right now. Oh, the SCV goes to repair, and now it looks like that SCV will, the supply depot will live.
Yeah, wow, that was so close. It was down to 10 HP there for a second. When you got like 2 to 3 Zerglings attacking a depot while it's burning down, that's not very long. That's about half a second, so very, very close there. I think, you know, seeing as how Monkey did hold that off pretty well. I mean, his opponents, yeah, he's taking his natural during this. But looking at the worker count, it's pretty much even, so not a huge difference there. And the CC is now done for Monkey, so he's in an okay position. I feel like he's maybe a little bit behind, but not much. He's got, you know, probably going to be able to do some good pressure with these Hellions. And you know, if he can do some damage with that, it'll just bring him right back in, probably give him a lead.
Yeah, and right now we do see the bunker is going up at the natural, so the command center from the main should be coming down to the natural, and then he'll be on 2 bases, on equal bases with the Zerg, and should be pretty much economically fine. He might be a little bit behind though, because he had to repair those supply depots for quite a while.
Yeah, you know, I've never liked that resources lost isn't counted in there, and this has changed. Like, it only shows, I think it shows units lost and resources lost, but that's only the units that you lose count for that. Yeah. Not what you repair, which really doesn't make any sense to me because you're still losing those resources, but whatever, we're never going to be exactly sure how much he lost there. Looking at the supply, it looks like Charisma is actually a little bit more ahead than I thought he was. 44 supply to 32, and, you know, he hasn't taken his third yet, but he can do that whenever he wants. As soon as he's got enough creep spread that the queens can protect it. It is on Antigua, so it is a good little distance there. And actually, you know what? CharismA-Z's making a bunch of lings here. It looks like he wants to do with some more pressure. I don't know about this. Like, this might just not work. Hellion production is, you know, already started. There's 2 Hellions out, which can back up pretty well versus speedlings. They do see it now. If Issa gets surrounded, it's going to be real tough. And there we go. Looks like one of them. No, what?
Oh,
what did you put those?
Oh my god. Both of the Hellions getting right past the Zerglings, but the Zerglings not going straight for the SCVs that were repairing the bunker. And now the bunker itself, both Hellions are dead now. And these Zerglings will do their job even with the Hellions.
They're going to kill all these SCVs now. The worker count is 23 to 38, so a good lead there for CharismA. These 2 Hellions should clean up the rest of the Zerglings, and then they'll be able to pressure his opponent, but that one hurts, man. Even with those 2 Hellions being dipped in Vaseline before that fight, it didn't really matter, man. I don't know how they got out of there. That was crazy. But just not quite enough. What's the worker loss count here? So 9 now. CharismA-Z's killed 9 workers. Pretty good.
I'm sorry, but to me the screen seems tilted a bit too much.
Yeah,
like, I think, did Blizzard change it or something where when you look at it, the angle's different now? I don't get it.
Yeah, look at the mini-map, man. It is different.
How did this happen?
I don't understand, but these 4 Hellions are actually coming into the natural. Now let's see how many worker kills they can get. Just 1 so far, not huge damage, but these drones are still very vulnerable to these Hellions. More lings pouring down, but the Hellions are just going to run away. Should be able to trade relatively well if those lings do decide to fight. So now up to 5 worker kills for Monkey. He's actually ahead in supply now. His opponent is getting his 3rd up, but you know what? Monkey's has already been producing SCVs for a little while here. And also throwing down a couple more barracks, plus another starport. So it looks like he wants to go into Marine Tank, Medevac, just do a good, you know, big push, maybe with 2-2 or something like that, and try to do as much damage as he can. I really think he's in a good spot here to do that, and Antigua's actually quite a good map for plays like that. You know, you take the middle, you take your base there, while you're pushing down, and you were so right, man. Look at the minerals, like in the middle base. Just tell me that it's just weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is pretty cray right now.
Yeah. No, this is, yeah, I was okay with it until I saw that, and I was like, wow.
Oh, it looks like Monkey might be having some lag problems.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if the Italians, though, because they're just going to destroy those Zerglings anyway. Maybe, not a good place to go. You definitely want to check that out with just maybe 1 link before you run all of yours into there, but whatever, man, whatever. This looks like the worker count is still in Zerg's favor just by a little bit. He's got 1 extra drone, making roaches right now, also getting +1 weapons and, +1 carapace and melee weapons, bandling speed, and pathogen glands for his infestors. He's probably going to be going to infestor ling here. Definitely very good composition for holding these Marine Tank Medevac pushes. These Hellions are pressuring at the 3rd. There's so many of them still. There's 7 Hellions, that's just so much.
What I think Monkey might try doing is try going for a bit of some biomech, as he does have so many Hellions. It looks like these Hellions, oh, will they get away? About 5 or 6 will.
Yeah, 5 of them are still alive, so pretty good there. This 1 leg is chasing him down. I don't think he's going to quite win that fight. Like you're saying, you know, he's stopped producing Hellions now, but he's still got tanks on the way. +1 armor and +1 weapons are both on the way at the same time, so he's going to be a little bit behind the Zergan upgrades, but not too much. That's an okay spot to be when you're already got have a little bit of a lead here. I mean, 95 supply to, well, 84 now. It was about 70 before. It is a pretty good spot for a Terran when you're not behind in a huge way. You know, maybe they have a lot of tech or something like that. Usually, it's when you see this. Like Lenok is one example of a Zerg who's actually behind in supply a lot, but he's just sitting there on 3 base going for Broodlords. So he has this huge tech advantage. It doesn't matter.
Yep. But we'll have to wait and see, because currently CharismA still on just getting those infestors. Still on the lair tech, not quite yet getting Hive. 2-2 is on the way for melee as well as pathogen glands to get those infestors a little bit more energy. But yeah, CharismA looks like he's just content with just turtling in his base, and Monkey is going to be doing the same for a little bit.
Yeah. I think this is a pretty good choice here for Monkey. He definitely doesn't want to be too aggressive too early. You know, with these infestors popping out, you don't want to be walking into those until you have a good enough tank count to deal with those. So the choice to just sit back is a really nice one. Also getting those medevacs out. Those are kind of like the way you deal with getting your Marines fungled, is you have your medevacs just to heal them. It's pretty effective. Both players are now equal in upgrades, 1-1 for each. Still a little bit ahead in production for the Zerg, but he's going to have to, well, there it is. I was going to say, he's going to have to make his hive to get through 3. It is on the way now. You know, he did have that infestation pit before just for the infestors. Do you think this is just going to be straight into Broodlords? I actually think it's going to be for Ultralists. He hasn't started the Spire yet, and Antika's just good for Ultras.
Yeah, it probably will be Ultralisks, especially when you know your Terran opponent is going for a Marine tank medevac.
Right.
There's usually no space to put in Marauders very early on, so it's probably going to be Ultralisks. Spire is on the way, though.
Yeah, I definitely like the choice for Ultras, if that is what he does. What is this? Oh, Vengeful Stacks is about to finish, so maybe going to be doing some link drops. Maybe Infestors? I mean, I've seen that. Actually, the Spire is starting right now. That's a little different, but, you know, like we were talking about, drops just started, so maybe he drops Infestors. I know I've seen... Who was it? It was an Seal. Goes... Oh, wow, actually, we have an engagement here, though. The Zerglings are coming in. Some good fungals off in those Marines. Banelings connect with a big group, but the Marines just get really spread out, and they trade very well versus those units.
Yeah, and the tanks weren't really able to help there, but it was not required. Now the Spire is on the way, and it might actually be the Broodlord Corruptors for CharismA, and it might have just been a late Spire, which might actually be the death of him.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta pick one, man. If you're gonna go for that Spire, that's fine, but you really have to start that Spire when you start your hive. You can't start it really late now, like he did. Now the Ultralist Cavern starts, as well as Adrenal Glands, but it's going to be a little late. Now the Lings are coming in. We need some really good fungals and not to use those Banelings on tanks like he is right now. Just aim moving those Banelings into mech units. That's a little rough, man.
And now with no real buffer for those Infestors, they're all going to be dead. CharismA is down by quite a bit of supply here. The Ultralist Cavern is on the way, as well as 50 more Zerglings and a few more Banelings. But Monkey is in a pretty good position here.
Yeah, one good thing there for CharismA was he did kill all the tanks. There's now only 2 out right now, so not a huge amount, but, you know, when you're going to go in for Ultralists, tanks aren't really the best unit ever. You want a lot of Marauders. Actually, another tank getting picked off there, so he's actually down to 1 until these extra 2 pop out. Looks like CharismA wants to take an engagement here. This is not a good idea unless these Banlings... No, I was going to say unless they have magical hits, but actually didn't hit anything at all. Killed, like, a Marine. So, pretty much just those units dying.
And now CharismA just gonna try staying on the Ling Baneling. Is gonna be getting some Ultralisks, but doesn't quite have the resources to do that. His Zerglings tried moving in, but the tank was sieged up now with all these Marines gonna be taking down the destructible debris at 3rd. Marines are going up. The Zerglings trying to go in, but they probably can't with all the tank backup.
Yeah, I mean, this is just... He's paying so much for losing all his Infestors right now. With good fungals on those big groups of Marines, he might be able to get some damage done with all these Banelings he has, but... You know, the Marines are just like, oh, I see Banelings, okay, I'm going to run away. We see that Siege Tank taking a shot at some Lings. I don't think he killed anything. Maybe 1 leg, but not a huge deal. And it looks like CharismA just wants to counterattack right now. That or he's going for a really nice flank. Yes! No!
The Ultralisk will get targeted down first. The Baneling's not blowing up on anything until the first Ultralisk is dead. There are still half the Marine force and 2 tanks, and now with just an Ultralisk that just died.
Yeah.
Monkey can push on into the 3rd.
I think this is it. The 3rd is definitely going to go down here. Yeah, I mean, fungal growth is good, but it's not good enough to kill this army off. He can kill some of the Marines out, but there's another 2nd group that's on the way. He's also just rallying so many units back at home, so... Just a big army here for Monkey, and I don't think CharismA can deal with it off just 3 base. You know, the 4th base isn't even really mining, so it's more or less 2 bases. and the main is pretty much mined out as well, so we're going to call it 1.5 base against 3. That's not what you want to be.
Yep, and right now, CharismA just trying to pick away at whatever he can, but Monkey with his tanks are just blowing all of the Zerglings away, as well as these Ultralisks can't really attack into anything.
Yeah, it's a pretty big deal too that you know, you're saying those ultras are good units, kind of. They're more support units. I think of them like Colossi. This is a GSL. Someone was talking about this during GSL, but they're really more like Colossi than Broodlords or something like that. Broodlords are kind of a unit that you get them and they change the matchup. Ultras are kind of like, they just support everything else. They make it so all your units are much more powerful. Your Banelings hit more because they tank. But here we go, we got another engagement coming in here. The Ultra Baneling composition trying to take out these Marines. No Infestor support. They did take out the tanks relatively quickly, but most of the Banelings died there. Now it just needs good Marine splitting. And there it is, man. Well done, GG.
Coming out of Charisma.
Yeah.
That victory sign coming up on Wings of Liberty. It makes me happy.
Oh, yes. You know, I kind of liked it before. Just because then you could, like, keep going around the map, but...
Yeah, you can. You just hit G. It's all works.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Never mind, it's cool then. Good job, Blizzard. And then we see the ridiculously huge APMs of those players because, for some reason, since the update, APM has been absurdly high. It told me I had 193, which I know for a fact is not true. But anyway, let's move on past that. Gotta get these. Oh my God, I don't know the stuff. You go, Doug.
All right. Well, be sure to follow IvD Gaming on Twitter, which is @IvD Gaming. It's also IvD Gaming on Facebook. And if you enjoy the music that you're about to listen to, or you heard before the games had started, you can go to ivdgaming.com. And on the front page, you'll find the link to buy the album. We'll be right back with another set of games. Stay tuned.
Babe, I know you've yet to draw your first breath in this world. Don't even know if you're gonna be a little boy or a girl. I think it's wise to apologize before you open your eyes for all the things you're gonna have to face before you're ready. Don't ever feel rejected if you see hate. Don't be infected. And don't be afraid to be yourself in spite of the pressure to be like everybody else. Don't try to grow up too fast. Let your innocence last. And don't be afraid to just be honest. Even when it's easier to lie, try to think positive. Those times when all you wanna do is cry, and just be thankful for all the people in your life. And all you do, just be true to you know who, and you'll be alright. In 6th grade they learn the safe way to have sex. Junior high they getting high on eggs. Join a gang cause the role models do the same. This ain't a Sega game, guns going bang bang. Lost souls, whole generation taking pills to get through, getting by on cheap thrills. Don't let it sink in under your skin. Protect your soul from the feel-good spin. Don't lose your sense of self-respect. Love ain't just about sex. Form your own opinions based on facts. Think before you react. And don't take your eyes off the goal. Knowledge is the power that feeds the soul. Don't be quick to judge. Try to spread love. Just be honest. Even when it's easier to lie, try to think positive. Those times when all you wanna do is cry, and just be faithful you do, just be true to you know who, and you'll be alright. Just be giving, even when there's nothing left to gain, and try to be sensitive to other people's pain, and do the right thing even when nobody wanna do the same. And all you do, just be true to you know who, and you'll be and just be thankful.
Alright guys, we're back here for game number 2 of this series. Apparently it's a best of 3, but you know, someone pointed out to me that we didn't actually introduce ourselves at all. I did say Doc's name, but not too much. So I'm Leg Wutarn, caster for Leg and IvD. Originally IvD, but you know what? That milled me to Leg, so I'm pretty happy about it. And my friend here, the Indian 13-year-old, because he's awesome.
14, bro.
14? It was your birthday?
Yeah, February 2nd.
Oh my god, happy birthday. So he's 14 now. He's a man. He's Master Dalk, or OG Master Dalk from O Gaming. Pretty awesome, Master.
Alright. So now, let's get ahead and introduce these players after ourselves. On the top right corner of Daybreak, we have the blue Terran from Bonsai Gaming. It is Monkey.
Monkey, woo! Now, for all you One Piece fans, I'm sure you like everyone who has the name Monkey. Dog's like, oh god, Brandon, why? But you know what, Monkey's opponent, we got the Red Zerg and the, what is this? Southwest, yeah, Southwest side of Daybreak. CharismA with a capital A, because it's awesome. It was just off, man. Yeah, now it looks fine.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was... Yeah. I don't know. That was pretty screwed up there.
That'd be funny if you go back and look at the name of that map. It's like Antigua Shipyard tilted.
Shipyard?
Antigua Shipyard.
That would be pretty cray.
That would be funny. So, same Magic, obviously got the same players here. This is a best of 3. Monkey up 1-0 in this game. Do you think he's going to take this one though? I mean, Daybreak's pretty tough for Terrans.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's obviously going to be different now that CharismA is not going to be 10 pooling, as he is going hash first, as Zerg would normally do.
That's a good point. He was pretty much just behind from that. We're going to see a CC first here by Monkey. So I guess he's just not afraid. He's like, you know, you 10 pool me once, you're probably not going to do it again. And as a response to the last 10 pool, just in case something crazy happens, he has Walt there, put it at the top of his ramp. I feel like if you're doing this on a 2-player map, you know, even when it's not prone towards 10 pool, you should just wall off with it. I mean,
yeah,
it's just better.
Because if you don't wall off, that means you do not lift, and that means 9-year-olds will bully you on Tate internets.
Yeah. 9-year-olds, not even 5-year-olds, man. Not even 5-year-olds. So we got gas going down here for Monkey. Maybe gonna be going to some Hellion Banshee play. I mean, that's pretty much what I'd expect in this matchup.
We saw from Monkey actually that he enjoyed skipping his Banshees. He just went straight for like 8 Hellions. So we might be seeing that again, especially on such a shorter map like this.
I think an SCV just died. Yeah, it did. That was crazy, man.
1 worker killed to a drone.
Yeah. Just 9 more and he gets a promotion. Yeah. That's not very many. That's actually a lot for a worker, but you know what? It doesn't matter. So the gas is actually done here for both players. 2 Zerglings in production as well as a pair of Queens. That almost sounds like Pericles.
What even is that?
It's a cool name, man.
Okay.
Never heard that name?
No.
Oh, well, look it up, bro. So the factory now started here for Monkey. It's gonna be going into those Hellions probably, I'd assume so. And like you said, he skipped the Banshees last time. You know, there's no second guess. There's obviously not gonna be Cloak Banshee. He still could go for the Banshees, but if he prefers not to bother with them, that's fine too. I mean, he got so much damage done with those Hellions anyway. They just paid for themselves. They didn't even need the Banshees.
Yeah. Right now, we do see Monkey just going to be taking his expansion factory on the way. The second gas is getting taken, so we might be seeing some Banshees this time around.
Yeah.
As that's usually what you get the second gas for, but no, it's going to be 3 racks after the factory.
Yeah. Just going right into that Marine tank, it looks like. I mean, he could be going bio. That's definitely an option. You know, Pult does that a lot of the times. There's a lot of players who are kind of emulating that, just going straight at bio. 6 barracks right away and then putting on so much pressure, but you're not really entirely sure if that's going to happen. I think that the 3 racks are going to be really helpful versus these 9 roaches that are just finishing right now. That's a kind of scary number. Wow, I love watching it catch. They just like burst open. I don't know. It's cool.
Did they get even better animations with the new physics?
I don't know. I know Reaper's got sweet death animations.
Everyone got sweet death animations.
Yeah, like they just fly now. You know, they just fly up into the air and explode. Now they like their jetpack falls off and their body just shoots halfway across the map. It's like, whoa.
It's just like, but wouldn't that mean that the Zerg or Protoss or whatever can get intel? Like easy peasy?
Well, obviously it's not halfway across the map, but maybe about a fifth away across the screen. But these roaches are now coming in. They're going to try to get into the main right away. The depots go up, but you know they can probably just target or focus those down in time. A Marauder is out on the top, so he's going to probably kill 1 roach. Yeah, he got 1 roach before he died. This is going to be so hard to hold off, though. I think these tech labs are probably just, or these add-ons are probably just going to be picked off. All the SCVs coming in, they're just standing there.
And now there's obviously going to be quite a few workers killed. There is a Marauder out so far, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and it just keeps on going as there are still 4 roaches, now 3. Those 2 Marauders doing a lot of damage versus these roaches, but quite a bit of damage done by CharismA. 21 workers killed.
Yeah, I mean, that was so worth 9 roaches. Like, you don't always see that happen, you know, if there's bunkers and an actual wall to the ramp, but when the ramp is just pretty much wide open, there's only 2 Marines in 1 bunker to stop it, those roaches just go right into your main, that bunker's completely useless, then you actually fight with the units, and at that point, you're not going to have very many Marauders out yet, so you got to pull those SCVs off, losing 20 of them, like you said. That's just so many.
Yeah, and that means CharismA, he's pretty much set. He's done so much damage, but now Monkey, he's going to be trying to do it once again by himself, as he's sending out a bit of bio as well as a few Hellions across the map now.
Yeah, I mean, CharismA here should have taken a 3rd while he did that. He's actually just still on 2 base, making roaches. I really don't like this choice. I mean, bio, once you get stim and any medevac support, just crushes roaches, so this is going to be rough. You know, a lot of Marauders still being produced here by Monkey. He is 40 supply behind, but it's vastly inflated by roach count, which is 2 supply each. They really cost the stim is about, you know, they cost less than a Marauder, and they're much less effective, so they're really supply inefficient. These Hellions are not going to see the roach count. He knows now to just run home. The problem is Speed is about to finish. These roaches can probably catch this bio when that does.
No, it looks like they're just going to be going to the Zelnaga Tower and not going to be running after any of Monkey's units. There is a single Marine going to be heading over towards the 3rd of CharismA, however. And it's going to scout the 3rd going down. I
mean, the thing for CharismA, though, is he's not on a really good drone count. He's only at 43, which is kind of the same thing that happened last game as well. You know, he's stayed a really low drone count. The 3rd hasn't now been scouted by Monkey, but he knows how late it is. And he knows this attack has to do damage with such an inflated supply of roaches. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to happen versus Marauders. Now we got the engagement starting here. No stim is done yet for the Marauders, but I feel like with a bunker here and some Hellions and SCV support, they should be able to stop this attack, but more SCVs are going to go down.
And so many SCVs dying right now. The Hellions trying to do what they can, but they're just Hellions. They don't do much versus the Roaches. The Marauders are at the back, and GG coming out of Monkey.
Huh. Well, you know what? Apparently if you just make lots of Roaches, it still works too, so it kind of harkens back to the beta when they were 1 supply. Oh, it was good times, man. Actually, those are really bad times because that was completely imbalanced. But anyway, we're done here with game number 2. It's now tied series 1-1, so we're going to come back, with game number 3. But in between games, why don't you go check us out on all our social media / YouTube. So you got youtube.com/IvDTV, at IvD Gaming, Facebook.com/IvD Gaming, and IvDgaming.com. And also, if you enjoy the music, please go to IvD Gaming. You can find the link there to buy their album on Amazon. That not only helps the band, but it also helps us as well.
Yeah, and we'll be back with game number 3 very shortly. Stay tuned.
It was the first Saturday in September. The night was getting ready to rain. A single moment I'll always remember. My life was never gonna be the same. I never believed in forever. Just loving and leaving, no time for grieving. I never said never say never. When it came down to the topic of love, before that night, yeah, I'd never met a woman like you. Before that night, yeah, yeah, I'd never met a woman like you. I don't mean to sound so dramatic, but if you knew me, you would understand why. I was cruising on automatic. I've never been a sensitive guy.
Alright guys, we're back here with the final game of this best of 3. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
I know you're excited. Even if you weren't, you would say you were.
Because we're going to be casting an IvD Gaming tournament.
You know what? That's not even true, man. It's all genuine here. If I wasn't excited, I would tell you. It's the truth.
Yeah.
So we got this game starting here. Let's introduce the players real quick. In the bottom left of Cloud Kingdom, one of my favorite maps, we got the Blue Terran, Bang Monkey, actually for Bonsai Gaming.
And over on the top right corner, we have the red Zerg. It is CharismA.
Yeah, did you see that drone that was just chilling? He's like beside the hatch, just taking a smoke break.
No.
No,
I did
you
not.
didn't see that? Alright.
No.
I don't know, like it looked like he wanted to build a pool really early, but like pulled the drone. And then he was like, oh my god, go work. It's a little bit weird, but you know, got that back to mining pretty quickly, so not a huge deal. Monkey, you're gonna be walling off. It's always good to do against the Zerg, or Terran, or Protoss. Just do it, guys. It's
Yeah.
important.
And there was an extractor trick. Overlord is now out. So
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it'll be another 10 pull.
Now, you know, we've seen CharismA Extractor trick the last 2 games, so obviously he thinks that's just better. I know, we've talked about it. It's not, but you know what? This is just like a really stylistic thing. I see that with like Lenok and Life, and they're really micro-oriented players, so maybe if you're aggressive and you like to micro, you go for the Extractor trick. If you're like Nesty and you're like, no, this is just better, you don't go for it?
If it wasn't better,
Right.
then I don't know, maybe he'd still be Codas. I'm just sad. Don't bring up Nesty, okay?
Why not? He's in Code, right?
I thought he lost.
Yeah, I think he lost in Code S, went into Code A. I haven't actually.
No, I thought he lost his Code AS.
Oh my god, spoilers! I haven't watched that
Dude,
yet.
I don't know.
Okay. You know what? We'll hope. I think he can do it, man. You know, he fell out of Code A once before and he made it back, so clearly he can still do it.
Alright. Well, we do have Monkey right now going to be walling off once again, just like last game with the command center on the top of his ramp as well as the barracks.
Yeah. And then going for that gas right away as well, just the one, so Same build.
Yeah, it's the exact same build, and maybe it'll work out a bit better for him this time around, as this map does have a lot of different pathways and ramps you can go through. So it does create a lot more ways of entry into the opponent's base.
Yeah, you know, he looks like Monkey's going for the same build like we were talking about, and I really don't think that CharismA is going to do the same thing though. That was more of a one-time thing. You know,
Yeah.
the 9 roach pressure is fine, but doing another follow-up roach attack after that is really different. So don't expect to see that. The orbitals are now finishing. I assume the factory is going to be going up now, as there is 100 gas. There it is. So I'm a prophet. I know. I'm also very modest.
Okay. Okay, there. Well, right now, Monkey going to be getting his factory and plopping down a bunker at his natural, landing his command center as well. So it's looking to be pretty normal at the moment. Will we be seeing more barracks after the factory, or will it go into starport?
Yeah. You know, the normal thing would be the starport, but this is Monkey, man. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, man. He does what he wants.
Yep.
You
He's
have to
like,
respect
Mondo.
his authority.
I hate that I just said that joke. Oh my god. Everyone just disregard that. I know. I will. Oh man. I'll repent tonight. But you know what? Let's gotta keep gassing the game, man. Just push through it. So the gas is going down now for CharismA in his natural. Not in the main quite yet. He hasn't taken his third again, so this is a delayed expansion for him. 2 games in a row. We're actually seeing the starport here for Monkey, by the way. So, do you think he's gonna go for like a 2-base Mutal play or something like that? Maybe 2-base Infestor. Obviously, it's not gonna be roach pressure. That would already, you know, show itself by now.
I don't think it'd be Muta play at all, especially since he's getting the third already. He
Right.
Probably would have gone for a bit of an earlier lair.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's probably just going to be more normal Infestor play as usual, Metabolic Boost on the way. So yeah, probably
Yeah.
just going to be Ling Infestor.
It really does look like Ling Infestor now. Very, very strong composition. Very good versus those early pushing or early timing attacks. You need mixed banelings in there to make it even more powerful. 2 Evo chambers going down right now, so it definitely looks like it's not going to be mutas, as well as baneling nest going down. So maybe you want to get those banelings out a little bit faster. Maybe go. I've seen Life do more of a Ling baneling centric army for the mid 8 game, and then expand a lot, and then just tack up really fast once you've got like 4 to 5 bases. You think he's gonna go for something like that? I mean, it's definitely an option.
I guess it could be, but just with how CharismA's been playing the past 2 games, I don't think it would go in that sort of direction. CharismA, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it fit him very well.
Yeah, he seems more aggressive. It's very true. But, you know, I mean, he kind of reminds me of Life a little bit. So that's more or less why I brought it up. Now it is going to be Banshees here. Double eBay is also on the way for Monkey. Stim just started a little bit ago, so he's going to be getting those Marines, tanks, and Medivacs. Is what it looks like. I can't really see him going anywhere else with double eBay and Stim. You know, Pure Bio, like I was talking about, is okay, but you don't really open with Banshees when you're doing that, as far as I know. Unless that build has changed since I lost Subpult to it.
Alright. Now, the Banshee is going to be coming in here, not really going to be able to do much as there are 2 queens here, and a Spore Crawler going down. The lair is about finished up. It's now finished up. What will we be seeing? Will it be Infestation Pit, or will it be a Spire? It will be Infestation Pit, so it's just going to be regular
Yeah.
Ling Infestor play for CharismA.
Yeah, so he's going to be going to those Infestors, as well as getting +1 melee and Carapace here. Going to be going up to +2/+2 right after that, I assume. Getting those awesome upgrades for your Lings. And this kind of play really lends itself towards a Broodlord late game. But, I mean, sorry, an Ultralist late game, just because you get those Infestors out, you get Banlings, and you get a lot of melee upgrades. You know, when you go Broodlords, you want to get those inspired a little bit quicker. And, you know, the melee upgrades do help, but they're just not quite as good.
Yeah.
Here we see... Go.
Alright, right now we do have Passaging Glands, Centrifugal Hooks, 1/1 for melee. So it looks like it's just going to be Ling Bane Infestor like we've seen CharismA do before. We might be seeing Broodlords come out this time because the time that Charisma did try going for Ultralisks, it didn't work out for him. Maybe he goes for Ultras again and tries mind gaming this, but Broodlords would just seem like the more fitting option for him.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of went like a foot in each. You know, he got the Spire before his Ultralisk Cavern, and then was like, oh god, you're attacking me right now? I guess I need Ultralisk, and he just made the Ultralisk Cavern. Didn't really have either attack when he needed it, so I think if he just goes straight for Ultras, that'll work a lot better. You know, a lot of Zergs are showing us that maybe an Ultralisk opening is really actually better than just going straight for Broodlords. That's more on maps that are kind of wide open, though. I mean, Cloud can definitely go for Broodlords, though.
Yeah, and right now there's actually a Viking out for Monkey, and I'm pretty happy with this. Terrans that get a single Viking, that one Viking will do a ridiculous amount of direct and indirect damage to your opponent, mainly because of the fact that they can't really see anything that isn't creep.
That's for sure, man, and especially with, you know, in HOTS, I do this a lot when I'm playing Terran just because, you know, Zergs are getting those speed overloads really early now, and you definitely don't want those all over the place. You gotta kill them off early. It's pretty fun to do that. They get really upset about it. So we see a Hive on the way already now for Charisma, as well as +2/+2 and Burrow. I really think this is going to be Ultras. I mean, this is such a quick Hive. No Spire has been started yet. There's not a huge Broodlord or Infestor count. You know, he's got 4. He's building 2 more, so going to be an okay number. And, you know, 20 more lings on the way. It just so looks like it.
Yep. And right now, Monkey, will he be pushing out? It kind of looks like that, as he is taking out the rocks right now at his natural. And Charisma also going to be taking out some rocks over at the middle of the map.
Yep. Good for Zerg to take out these rocks. I feel like they should just always do it. Please say, okay, that Baneling, I thought it was just going to attack those rocks for a second there. This is going to be, you know, maybe a little bit painful for Charisma as Monkey is moving in to his 4th area while those rocks are being taken out. Charisma's going to go behind and try to set up a flank. I don't know if this is going to work, though.
Yep, and all the Marines are already split up. The Zerglings are coming in, trying to do whatever they can, but the Zerglings going for the Marauders all the way from the other side. The Infestors got targeted down pretty quickly. The Roach is dying pretty quickly as well, and there's not a lot of Zerglings left either.
Oh my god, that engagement was so good for Monkey. He just had great positioning. Like you said, those Lings were kind of split off from the main army, killing some Marauders. They didn't even have good surface area on. They were kind of just running around each other, not able to all attack, and just so many units died because they were split up. All the Infestors walked into Marine Tank. Not a good engagement for Charisma. Now the Banelings come in, they're going to try to kill off these Marines. They do get quite a few, but they also end up hitting tanks, which is not very efficient. Man.
But, yeah, and it looks like all those bio forces that were left will get loaded up into that medevac. This will give Charisma a chance to rebuild all of his buffer, get some more Infestors, get 2-2 finished up, and also get some Hive Tech units as he is popping down that Ultralisk Cavern, as well as the Spire right now. I don't know if that's the right choice, as he doesn't really look like he has the economy to support that.
No, he doesn't. I mean, he's on 57 drones, 66 SCVs. You don't have the money for this, dude. That's where you're going. Ultras, don't get the Spire. It's not a viable choice here. Adrenal Glands has also been started, which I like. +3 melee attack is going to be really important for these Ultralisks. Guy, I don't get it, man. Why the Spire? Why the Spire?
I don't know. I guess Charisma's just being a little bit indecisive. We do see Monkey is moving out onto the map, taking out some creep. That's a very good choice. And now it looks like Charisma going to be coming in, only getting 1 fungal off so far. The tanks will be sieging up just a little bit late. This will make it harder for Monkey. But with all the Zerglings dying, because the Marines were split up so well and the Infestors didn't really do much again.
Yeah, he ended up losing the Infestors again, which really hurts for Charisma. He did get some pretty good fungals off before he lost them, but you know, the Lings were just not able to buffer long enough for the Infestors to do the damage and then get away. Those Lings, it looks like they're going to counterattack right now, which I think is the proper choice for Charisma. He's definitely not going to be able to fight this army for a little while until he gets at least some Ultralists or something out. Maybe with, like, Adrenal Glands and Banelings he can do it. Oh, he's attacking right before Adrenal Glands finishes.
Oh, and it looks like all of that will get cleaned up, but Monkey just has a great economy right now. And Charisma has, like, he keeps trying to get these Infestors out, but he gets 1 fungal off, throws down a few infested Terrans, and then all of the Infestors just happen to walk into the tanks, and it just doesn't work out very well. Charisma, he needs to wait to get some Hive Tech units out first, and then he also needs to try and do some run-bys. He keeps going straight into the Terran army, and that's not what you want to be doing.
Yep, definitely not a good idea. Chitinous plating's now on the way. It looks like there's going to be another engage. Or sorry, those are 2 forces of Monkey. I am silly. He's clearing up creep net right now with this army. That's what he's doing. Now there might be an engagement. The Zerglings charge in. The tanks are in siege. This could be a huge mistake for Monkey. The Banelings hit on tanks, though. 2 good fungals go off from the 2 Infestors, but I don't think that's going to be quite enough. No, looks like it's not, but the Infestors did live.
Yeah, that will be very helpful compared to everything else that has happened so far. There is only 1 Ultralisk out right now. The tanks are sieging up, and with no real focus on the tanks at all by the Zerglings or the Ultralisk, the Charisma can't really do anything there, and is going to stay about 100 supply down.
Yeah, like he's talking about, man. 166 supply to 97. Not quite 100, but about 80. That's a huge supply difference. Not really what you want to be doing as a Zerg. Maybe if these supplies were switched, then it'd be a more even game. But I think then, you know, Charisma would still be way ahead. Or sorry, Charisma would be way ahead if supplies were switched. 2 more Ultralisks on the way. Well, with 18 Lings, but I mean, with only 3 Infestors and a couple Banelings to support this, 5 right now, it's just not going to be enough.
Yep, and right now it looks like Charisma going to try going in once again. The tanks weren't sieged up in time, but there's just such great Marine splitting from Monkey that allows the tanks to stay alive and the Marines not die to the Banelings pretty quickly. Now the 3rd is going to get taken out, and Charisma, I don't know, he's looking really bad right now.
Yeah, he's in some trouble here. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to win this game. He's on 2 base now against a soon-to-be 4 base Terran. You know, Monkey's upgrades are going... or 2-2 right now, so they're a little bit behind his opponents, but only by 1. 3-3 is now started for Monkey, as well as +2 tank weapons. That's a pretty big deal. Those Banelings used to kill a tank, not really what you want. Now these Lings are going to take out one of the other tanks, but, I mean, his army at this point is 33 Lings, which not really all that many. 1 Infestor, a Roach, and 2 Ultralisks.
Yeah. Currently, though, Charisma does have a attack lead, as well as... he does have chitinous plating, but he only has 1 or maybe 2 Ultralisks at the max at each battle, and he needs to try getting a few more. He needs to just try and hold the line until he has about 5 or 6 Ultralisks.
Yeah, that would definitely help, but, you know, I don't know if he's going to have time here. Monkey is moving forward now. This Infestor is going to have the best fungal of its life if he wants to win this game. And there it is. Actually, the opportunity's there. No, it doesn't quite take advantage of it.
Yep, and it looks like Monkey sieged up right below the natural here. There are quite a few Ultralisks out now, but they're going to walk right towards the back.
Yeah.
That's some